When Kody Brown began to dance, the room filled with laughter. But for Robyn, that laughter wasn't joy, it was memory. November 9th, what started as a playful scene on Sister Wives became the spark that reignited buried secrets. Within hours, social media turned a funny clip into a nationwide mystery. Why did one dance make Robyn's ex-husband's family speak out after nearly a decade of silence? Part 1. Kody Brown, once the charismatic face of plural marriage.
A lot of hate,
Robyn
a lot of
Brown,
jealousy,
the
a lot
last
of
wife standing after a decade of emotional storms. Together, they became the final couple holding the Brown family together, or so it seemed. He used to say dancing was freedom. But for Robyn, freedom felt like losing control. Since the departures of Meri, Janelle, and Christine, Robyn has carried the emotional weight of the family. But when Kody dances, she doesn't see freedom, she sees exposure. A mirror to everything their marriage has become. What happens when a moment meant for love becomes a metaphor for imbalance? Fans watched as Kody's wild moves became the talk of the internet. Some laughed, others cringed, but those who looked closely saw something else entirely. He's not just dancing, he's performing control. For years, Kody has struggled to redefine himself after losing 3 wives. Dancing became his way of reclaiming attention, his stage of self-validation. But for Robyn, it became a spotlight she never asked for. Was Kody's dance an expression of joy, or a cry for relevance? When Robyn joked, "He's like a stripper, and I'm the pole," it wasn't just humor, it was truth wrapped in laughter. Robyn, I love him, but sometimes, it's too much. The world laughs, and I just want to disappear. Underneath the laughter was exhaustion. For years, Robyn has defended Kody against fan backlash, the other wives' anger, and the show's growing scrutiny. But this moment revealed vulnerability, her silent struggle to hold it all together. What if the dance floor became the battlefield of their relationship? Robyn looks mortified. Kody's energy is unhinged. This is why the other wives left. In less than 24 hours, #StripperKody was trending. Fan edits flooded TikTok. YouTube creators dissected every frame. What seemed like a light-hearted family moment turned into a public debate about masculinity, boundaries, and love. And just when the backlash peaked, Robyn spoke. In a quiet Instagram live days later, Robyn addressed the viral chaos. Robyn's quote, "I was joking. He's fun. But, sometimes, I wish he'd slow down and see me." She wasn't angry. She was sad. For fans, this was the twist they didn't see coming. It wasn't about the dance itself, but about feeling unseen. Behind the laughter was longing. Behind the performance, a woman wishing for intimacy, not entertainment. What happens when laughter becomes the only language left in a marriage? As the credits rolled on that episode, the world laughed, then paused. Maybe we all saw a bit of ourselves in Robyn, smiling through discomfort, laughing through embarrassment. Kody and Robyn's story isn't about dancing, it's about being seen. It's about a woman who gave up everything for love, and a man still searching for who he is. Sometimes love isn't lost in silence, it's lost in the noise of laughter. And somewhere in that dance, between rhythm and regret, Robyn Brown took her final step into the spotlight, not as Kody's pole, but as her own person. If this story made you feel something, share it. Part 2. Before she was Kody Brown's last remaining wife, Robyn Sullivan was a young woman in Montana married to David Jessup. Together, they had 3 children, and for years, their life was quiet, normal, until it wasn't. Robyn has spoken about her first marriage only in shadows, calling it painful and spiritually broken. But now, David Jessup's relatives have come forward with a different version of the truth. What did they see that Robyn never told the cameras? In exclusive interviews that surfaced online, members of the Jessup family described Robyn as not the innocent one fans believe. They claimed she was already searching for a way out, and that she met Kody Brown long before the public timeline suggests. Fans began connecting the dots. Was the love story between Kody and Robyn built on an overlap, a timeline that doesn't add up? She was done with David before she was done with David. Claims like these don't just scratch at the surface. They shake the very foundation of what the show told us for years. Was Robyn really escaping pain, or was she rewriting her story? For Robyn, her marriage to David was a chapter of trauma, one she says left her emotionally scarred. She spoke openly about needing healing and forgiveness before joining the Brown family. But the Jessups insist that her version is only half true. They say she was controlling, calculating, and determined to be the center of attention. Kody didn't find Robyn. Robyn found Kody. As the Brown family began to fracture, fans wondered, had Robyn been the catalyst all along? Did Kody marry his savior, or his undoing? When the claims hit social media, the reaction was immediate and explosive. If these claims are true, everything we thought we knew about Robyn is a lie. Maybe the other wives were right to walk away. In less than 48 hours, hashtags like #Robyn's secret and #Kody knows were trending. Fan communities divided, some defending Robyn as a survivor, others accusing her of manipulation. But the real shock came when a family member claimed they had documents proving Robyn left her first marriage on different terms than she told the show. What were those documents, and why did they vanish before anyone could verify them? Just as the internet reached fever pitch, a twist changed everything. A close friend of Robyn's from her church community stepped forward, saying the revelations were being twisted. Robyn went through real pain. Those people blaming her weren't there when she was crying every night. The so-called evidence turned out to be nothing more than old court documents from a custody case, and while they painted a complicated picture, they didn't prove malice. The twist wasn't about what was true or false, it was about perception. The same woman some called calculating was also a mother who fought to protect her kids from pain. Maybe the real truth is that Robyn is both a survivor and a strategist. As the dust settled, Robyn and Kody remained together, isolated but united. The other wives moved on, fans moved to new theories, but the question remains. How much of what we see on Sister Wives is truth, and how much is the performance of a perfect family? Maybe the most painful part of Robyn's story is not what others said about her, but how she still carries the weight of proving herself to a world that never forgets. In the end, truth in reality TV is never just about facts, it's about which version we choose to believe. Comment below. Do you think Robyn was misunderstood, or did she manipulate the narrative? Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. Long before Flagstaff, before TLC cameras and confessionals, Robyn Sullivan was a young wife in Montana. In 1999 she married David Jessup, member of a respected polygamist line family tied to the Apostolic United Brethren sect. By her own words, that marriage left her spiritually broken. But to the Jessops, Robyn's story was different. They remember a woman restless, ambitious, already reaching for another life. So which version is true, the victim, or the strategist? 2009. Kody Brown meets Robyn at a church gathering in St. George, Utah. Cameras were months away, but chemistry was immediate. She laughed at everything he said. You could see it, they were already in sync. Online fans later discovered photos placing Robyn near the Browns earlier than shown on TV. Reddit threads lit up, questioning whether their courtship overlapped her first marriage. Did Kody fall for a newly single mother, or a still married woman rewriting her timeline? Fast forward to 2025. The Brown family is fractured. Christine, Janelle, Meri gone. Only Robyn remains beside Kody, the self-proclaimed patriarch without a tribe. When Robyn joked, "He's like a stripper and I'm the pole," America laughed. But to insiders, that line hit too close to home. That dance mirrored the dynamic that fans had whispered about for years. Kody performing dominance, Robyn forced into stillness. Was it comedy, or confession? Days after the episode aired, a Utah blogger posted statements from members of Robyn's ex-husband's family. She wasn't the innocent one. She already had contact with the Browns before the divorce. Other relatives hinted at legal filings from 2007 to 2009, custody petitions and sealed mediation records. While no wrongdoing was proven, the timing raised eyebrows. Montana custody law in that period required both parents to mediate before relocation. If Robyn moved to Utah early, it could have violated temporary orders. For fans, this wasn't about paperwork. It was about integrity, and the feeling they'd been watching a love story built on half-truths. Did the dance simply crack open what the documents had already hinted? As accusations spread, Robyn stayed silent, until a quiet Instagram live stunned everyone. "I'm not perfect. I did what I had to do to protect my kids and my sanity. Sometimes protecting your peace looks messy from the outside." Her words reframed everything. The so-called stripper dance wasn't embarrassment, it was a trigger. A flashback to years of being judged, objectified, blamed. Suddenly the episode became less about Kody's wild moves and more about a woman caught between survival and spectacle. Was Robyn crying for the past, or for the marriage she can't escape? Weeks later, the chatter faded. Kody defended his wife, calling the rumors garbage. TLC refused comment, but fan communities continued dissecting every frame. "I used to hate her. Now I just feel sorry for her." In the end, no court record or ex-relative could define Robyn more clearly than that moment on the dance floor. A smile that wasn't quite real. A laugh that hid a lifetime. Between 2005 and 2008, Robyn's life drifted between silence and struggle. Friends from Montana remember her as distant, a mother who often sat alone at church, sketching designs in a notebook, dreaming of a different world. Sometimes she'd whisper, "There's got to be more than this." By 2008, her marriage to David Jessup was collapsing. Court documents later revealed multiple attempts at reconciliation, all ending in the same word, irreconcilable. Those years, known among family as the lost years, were when Robyn started watching Sister Wives, fascinated by the Browns' promise of spiritual harmony. But could a woman running from heartbreak find peace in another man's plural dream? Fan number 1. I used to think Robyn was manipulative. Now, after hearing her past, I just think she's broken. Every time Kody dances, I feel secondhand embarrassment. Poor Robyn, she looks trapped. No one is perfect. We all rewrite our pain differently. Across Reddit, Facebook, and YouTube, thousands of women debated one question. Was Robyn a survivor, or the symbol of everything wrong with Kody's world? And then, a surprising voice joined the conversation, someone who had known Robyn before the fame. To understand the emotional weight of this moment, we spoke with a relationship therapist who's studied reality TV couples. Public displays like that dance aren't just performance, they're communication. When one partner feels unseen, they often use humor or withdrawal as silent protest. What viewers witnessed between Kody and Robyn wasn't comedy, it was emotional distance televised. A media analyst echoed that sentiment, comparing their dynamic to a mirror of power and dependency. In the sister wives narrative, Robyn's silence is more revealing than her words. So, was this marriage built on faith, or on fear of being left alone? As the Arizona sun sets, Robyn still stands by Kody's side. The laughter, the tears, the endless debates, fade into the distance. What remains is a woman who has endured judgment, loss, and the heavy cost of love. Sometimes healing doesn't come from leaving, it comes from learning to stand still. And as silence fills the room, the dance finally ends, but the questions never do. Maybe the real sister wives story isn't about polygamy at all, it's about the price women pay for love in the spotlight. If this story made you think twice about what you see on reality TV, hit subscribe, because next week, we uncover what Kody Brown revealed off camera about the family's secret contracts. Drop a comment below. Was Robyn a survivor, or the storm itself? Like, share, and join the conversation, because truth, just like love, dances in circles.